I didn't tell you the whole story about rebases. Let's take a small step back. I told you that when you rebase, Git detaches the current branch from its base and moves it to the top of the target branch. But actually this process cannot happen literally like that. That would be impossible in Git. You cannot detach a commit from another commit and move it elsewhere because commits are database objects, and database objects are immutable. Remember what we said in the beginning of this training. If you change anything in a commit, then you get a different shown hash, which means a different commit. And if you want to move commits around, then you must change at least one piece of data inside the commit, its parent, so you cannot do that. Let's take a step back. Imagine what happens if you change the parent of this commit. The parent's hash is stored inside the commit, so the commit data must change, and the commit must get a new hash. Now that this commit has a new hash, this other commit also has to change because its own parent has changed, so it gets a new hash, and so on for all the commits in the branch. So Git cannot just move the commits. The commits in the rebased branch must have different hashes, so they must be different objects in the database. In other words, new commits. And indeed, that's what they are. Here is how rebasing really works. When you rebase, Git makes copies of the commits. It creates new commits with mostly the same data, actually exactly the same data except for their parents, and also except for any conflicts that you might have to fix during the rebase. Aside from those changes, these new commits look almost exactly like the original commits, but they are new objects with new hashes, so they are new files with new file names in the database directory. And finally, Git moves the rebased branch to the new commits, leaving the old commits behind. Keep this in mind, because as we will see in the rest of this training, sometimes rebases can be tricky, and you can avoid some confusion if you remember that rebasing is an operation that creates new commits.